Hey guys, welcome out to the range. Today I wanted to show you a drill that I picked up from Ken Hackathorn very recently called the Wizard Drill. It is a drill that when I saw it, I thought, okay, that's what we need right now because the ammunition has gotten ridiculous. It's May 4th, 2020. Ammo is non-existent, and when it is existent, it's ridiculous in price because price gouging has already started, which, you know, people need to catch on. Folks are broke, like stayed home, got locked up in their home, broke. But you still need to be practicing. And yes, dry fire does a lot for you, but dry fire only does so much for you. You need to get out and do some live fire. And to that end, I have a great drill for you that I picked up from my mentor, Ken Hackathorn, called the Wizard Drill. It's fired at 3, 5, 7, and 10, which is where I'm standing right here. And from the 10-yard mark, it is 2 shots on center of mass, which is the black area on that target, and then target and positions 7, 5, and 3 are all 1 shot on the head. And I'll get to them individually, but I want to give you the particulars of each. 2 shots from 10 yards, center of mass, purely because it is a reasonable thing to be able to get done in the time frame, which for every one of these is 2.5 seconds. And asking for a headshot from 10 yards, unless you're talking a slightly greater time frame, which is what the church drill is about, 5 seconds, a slightly greater time frame, and a single shot. To ask two shots in 2.5 seconds from concealment is asking a lot. So this particular shooting position right here is center of mass, and the reason that the other ones are headshots is, and I'll tell you a quick story. Many years ago, I went out to TDI for my first real true level professional firearms training, and I was nervous. I was a cop back then, so you know I need to know something because I'm a cop. Meaning that I needed to feel like I was coming across like I knew something. And I was a magazine writer, which just made it even worse because I was an arrogant ass back then. So I get in the shoot house, and I'm working all the angles, and you know, I'm popping everything right, and I finish, and the instructor walks me through, and he goes, "Dude, nice groups, good job, yeah, excellent punch. You know, you punched that pregnant lady, good job." And I was like, "Oh crap!" And oh, the guy with the beer, nice shots, yeah. And I had slaughtered everybody because I had no situational awareness. I did not know how to target discriminate because as cops. Now, in 2020, they're trained differently, but back when I went through the academy, wow, 20 years ago, yeah, 2020 is, so 20 years ago, back in 2000, it was shoot. It was darn near everything that was put in front of you was a shoot. And so I had no target discrimination, and when it came to center punching things in the head, I've always been a face shooter because I used to brawl with my brothers when I was younger, and I know that a headshot is an instant fight ender, whether it kills or not is an instant fight ender. And so anyways, I had center punched a lot of my targets in the face with 2 and 3 shots. And the instructor said something that I never forgot. He says, he took me into one of the rooms where we had more targets that we had to shoot, and I'd shot that guy. And he says, "Good group, you know, 3 center." He says, "But here's the problem. The way he was holding that girl," actually I think it was like this. The way he was holding that girl, if you'd center punched him and he went down, he would have dragged her right into the path of where you were aiming, and you could have potentially hit her." He says, "Remember that a center punch in the face is an instant fight ender and a behavior modifier, or an instant killer. And the person crumples to the ground, and whatever they have their hands on gets dragged into the path of where your next shot is going to be. So if you're face shooting, it's a single hit, which is why 3, 5, and 7 are single hits. 10 is 2 to the body." .61. I'm up on time, and I'm shooting this cold, guys. The ones on the face are from a previous video from about an hour ago, but you'll notice that the body was clean. I'm shooting this cold. Oh, this drill is a butt kicker. 2.68. I'm still out of time. I got to get in 2.50. So what does that equate to? A lot of the things that you do in firearms training are fast, fast, slow, fast, or fast, slow, fast, or slow, slow, fast, slow. Many little things, you know, loading, unloading, drawing, getting around corners. Some of these things require really fast motion and then really slow, and then finding that shot and then shooting, and then really fast recovering and fighting the next shot. So there's a lot of slow, fast, slow, slow, fast, slow, fast, fast, slow. And that's what this is about. For me to make my time, I'm going to have to be fast on the draw, fast on punching it out, slowing down, finding my shot, shooting, recover fast on my front sight post, fire fast on my front sight post, and then slowing back down again. So there's a lot to remember in this drill, which is why I like it so much. And remember, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 rounds being expended. All right, made the time, but the shot on the target, in my estimation, even though it's not a miss because that's bottom right, so it's about right here, it's a long shot, I prefer to get those shots in the middle. I'm racing. What happens is, when you take this thing out, all the dynamics change. I was training someone out here just 2 days ago, and the second I got this thing out, most people who shot against this computer will go, oh no, because they know what's coming. This humbles you, but this forces you to be honest. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to say this part. This particular drill, I shoot this a lot, so I can't afford to do it with my carry ammo. But you should shoot this at least one time or every once in a while with your actual carry ammo, because you need to know what your firearm does under the recoil of real ammo. You know, real meaning carry ammo. I'm shooting this with 115 grain Blazer brass, and it, you know, it's got a good punch to it. It's got a fast zip to it, but it doesn't have the same thump that my Gold Dot Spear does. Jeepers, man, seriously. .93. That is awful. .82. All right. One of the things that I'm always saying is dare to suck. Dare to suck right in front of your students. Dare to suck. And of course, right now, you guys are technically my students. Dare to suck. I have difficulty with this drill at this distance because this is such a new drill to me. But that's why I come out here sometimes, and I want to say like 3 weeks ago, a month ago, is when I picked up this drill for the first time. And when I saw it, I went, yep, that's the one, I need that. Because this drill has so much skill to it, and so little ammunition required, that it makes the most sense to do this one. I come out here, and this sometimes will be all I do. And I'll just come out here for like an hour or two, and very slowly, very methodically work these drills. But if I don't get to it as a regular thing because I'm busy doing something else, work-wise, school. I just finished school, finally, for the summer. If I have not been able to get out here every probably 4 or 5 days, like, because it's not like once a week, it's like every 4 or 5 days I come out. If I don't get out here regularly, guys, proficiency drops. I mean, proficiency drops like embarrassingly fast. All right, let's move up to the 7-yard position. All right, here at the 7-yard position, what we're now dealing with is one shot on head, because remember, headshots take people out of fights very efficiently, so you want to do one shot because you don't want that person falling into a different path and you end up missing and blah, blah, blah. So, like I said earlier, now that we're at 7, everything 7 and forward of this is going to be single shot to the head. This position is one shot to the head, both hands, in 2.5 seconds from concealment. Oh, there was a miss. Jeepers. I'm out shooting my front sight. I'm so jocked up. I was out here shooting yesterday, and then the day before that I was training somebody. So I'm a little wigged out from too much sun exposure right now. And I'm out shooting my front sight. Guys, I'm leaving this stuff in. Dare to suck. Because I want you to know, you gotta work. The student that I had out here 2 days ago, had I not been the positive person that I am and respectful, he would have left here crushed. Because as men, we think that awesomeness flows from us because we have a handgun and we're a man. Guys, it's work. Training is work. Paul Howell, by the way, says that. Training is work. 2.42. I was in time, but frankly, I was loose. I was loose on the gun, so I'm not going to call that a success. 2.35. Here's what's interesting. You're mentally driven by 2.5, and you think you have to move faster, but in reality, you have a lot of time left. That was at 2.35. That was a face, that was a shot here. I would prefer to see it inside of this area. Don't even know where that was, but I know I hit. 2.17. 2.24. 2.14. So you can see in, what was that, 6 or 7 reps total that I got from throwing the occasional shot and then having loose shots on the outside to being in the middle. Because this drill is, like I've said, you guys have heard me say this before, I pick up one piece from one person, Ken Hagethorn. I pick up another piece, my fighting stance, from a combination of Rich Nance and Dave Spalding. And then the other part of this is steel. I'm shooting it on steel. I'm shooting it close, and I get that. But I've shot thousands and thousands of rounds on steel, and I know that this is perfectly safe to do with non-frangible ammo. Let's move up to the 5. From the 5-yard position, it is one headshot with either 1 or 2 hands. And if you read Bill Rogers' work, one of the things that he tells you is that when he got into competition shooting, he was an FBI agent. When he got into competition shooting, he realized that they ran tests with these things, and they found that the accuracy that you got by getting both hands on the gun when the buzzer sounded versus just getting your shot off with one hand, the time lost was negligible because the accuracy was dramatically higher. And so that's what I say to my students too. If you're talking about bad breath range, where, I mean, it's flat out a shoving match and it's on, yeah, dude, that's one-handed stuff. If you're talking about distance, and this right here, guys, this right here is a world of distance. Believe it or not, this is a massive amount of distance for a gunfight. This is a car between you and the bad guy. Always use vehicles, guys. Vehicles are a blade of armor. Use them. So if I have to draw a gun, I'm going to do everything I can to get both hands on it to make sure that I center punch that dude and nobody else behind him. Ugh, 2.11. That was terrible, though. That body mechanics was terrible. That was better. 2.06. Not only was it better, the time was better. .09. One more. 2.26. All right, let's move up to 3. All right, this one is danger close. This is 3 yards. Yeah, this one, unlike the others, which are 2 hands or 1 or 2 hands, this is 1 hand only. Center of the forehead, 1.64. The fastest I've ever gotten this was 1.16, 1.13, something like that. But that was without a camera down range, because I don't want to risk hitting a camera. 1.54. You'll notice all I'm really doing is rotation of the hips and just punching it out there. 1.68. 1.82. 1.60. So as you guys can see from all those hits, they're nicely centered up on the head. This head, by the way, from middle of the forehead to about the bottom of the lip, and then side to side on the ears is 6 by 6. So the target, and I should have said this earlier, I apologize, the target you're dealing with here is a 6 by 6. When I first have students doing this, I just say, look, we're just dealing with a clean headshot, just a clean headshot. And once I get them a little more advanced, then I say we're going to start tightening that down. I want that inside of the inverted triangle, or I want that inside of the 6x6, or a 5x5, or a 4x4. And you can find those markers on the human face very easily, which is why these targets have the stencils on them. That's the Wizard drill. I hope you guys will try it because it is a high yield, low round count drill that you can do with very, very little ammunition. You can literally bring out a box of 50 and go one row at a time, because remember, it's 5 rounds, 5 rounds, 5 rounds, 5 rounds. As always, I thank you guys for watching. God bless you all. Get those guns out in practice. Have a good one.